Hey, this is Chuck, and you are listening to Fans with Bands, the podcast where we talk to the fans and the bands they dig about life, music, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. Today on Fans with Bands, we are talking to the DayNites. Check it out. Hey, this is Chuck with Fans with Bands, and I am talking with Kristi, Shaun, Rick, Erich, Tim, and Ryan from the band, the DayNites. How you guys doing?
Hey.
All right.
Good.
Awesome. And joining us are fans, Lori, Danielle, and Antonio. How you guys doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Exciting.
Awesome. It's so good to have all you wonderful people together. I was saying before we got started that I've been listening to the DayNight EP. I was excited about it when I heard about it, just because I thought, this is something that is different for me, because I'll be honest, I'm usually like a heavy metal person, and but I do, I grew up listening to all kinds of different music, and I love R&B and soul and rock, and I love the way that you guys have fused that together. And this album is fantastic. The only bummer so far is that there's only 5 songs.
Yeah.
More is coming.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Oh, cool. So I kind of want to kick it off with the fans to talk about like how you got into the DayNites. So let's start off with Antonio.
I got into the DayNites basically through Kristi.
Yeah.
Just
All right.
hearing her sing, man. We were both at the EMU together, so that was like the beginning of like our acquaintances, if that's the word. But I got into the DayNites basically through her, and man, I've been hooked ever since.
Awesome. Cool. And you guys are both from EMU?
Mm-hmm. We're both with the EMU.
I am an EMU graduate as well.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right. Awesome. So like
All of us.
I should
EMU
also
reunion.
note that Antonio wrote the liner notes. That's going to be in the physical product. He's
cool.
a hell of a writer.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. So let's switch over to Lori.
Yeah, sure. So, I first learned about the DayNites as I was writing about a lot of local bands for my blog, the Strat Set List. And I first met actually Rick and Erich when I had put together an article last year about the Grove Studios Equinox party. And that's how I
cool.
learned about the DayNites, as I realized they were both in a band together, and then came to learn about the DayNites, and then never got a chance to see them live and always wanted to. And then I got excited when I heard Cherry Blossom come out, I think earlier this year. It's kind of like the first single. And I thought, these guys are really good, so so then I looked forward to hearing Not Tomorrow when that came out. And then I was excited to hear the EP and then have a chance to talk with Kristi for a piece I did for my blog recently. So it was fun to be able to hear all the hard work that everybody's put into the EP, which I think is awesome, by the way.
Cool.
Thanks, Lori.
Thanks, Lori.
And Danielle.
Hi. I'm Danielle. I've been a fan of the DayNites since Ryan actually showed them to me. I've been to their shows a couple times, and I really like their music. I think it's just really calming, and I actually play it for my rabbits that I have, and they really like it. It's just like really nice, like driving or just hanging out kind of music, and yeah, I just
Cool.
like it.
Fantastic. So I was really curious about how you guys came up with the name. So I saw like on the website you've got the yin and the yang, day and night. What about that concept felt like it matched your band? I'll throw it out to
Who's going to go first on this one? Because it's been our name for so long, I can't even remember how exactly it happened.
Tim said it.
I remember.
Too.
It kind of started out, I think, because we were meeting on Friday nights originally.
Oh, yeah.
And we called ourselves, Christiana, or no, we just started the Friday nights or something like that. But
Right.
we shortened it up and made it DayNites, taking the day and night.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because we were like a side project aside from Abe Maybe, and we would meet Friday nights.
Just for fun.
without Ian and with
just
Kristi,
a jam.
right? And with Shaun too. Yeah, just a jam.
Oh, so you guys actually just started as a side that, just to get together, play music, and then decided, hey, this is working out, and kept it going.
Well, at the time, I didn't have anywhere else to go. So they let me, the practice place that they had, they will let me just jam there. And then like Rick and Erich would come sometime. And then as time progressed, I saw Tim and Christiana. So
yeah,
it worked out for me.
And we
I didn't have to
go.
fill out an application or nothing.
Not anymore, man. You're permanently hired. But Shaun and me and Erich played in a band a lot of years ago, in a band called Jameson, and that's how we knew each other. And then at some point we ended up playing in Abe Maybe together, Erich and I, and that's how we met Kristi and Tim too. We were we were sharing a rehearsal space with another band, and it was just this,
over at Spur Studios.
We all over at Spur Studios, and so we all kind of came into it, but like me and just like Shaun said, me, Shaun, or me, Erich, and Tim and Kristi were all playing in a band called Abe Maybe, and Kristi was singing backup vocals in this band, which, like if you listen to that record, you can hear her voice, but it's not the voice that she uses in the DayNites. It's, it's just a different thing altogether. But, and sometimes after Abe Maybe band rehearsal, we just kind of hang back after the lead singer would leave, because he had a longer drive than most of us at the time. And we kind of jam a little bit afterwards. And we always ended up like leaning into funky stuff because we all have a real love for that. You know what I mean? So, I'd probably start playing some kind of meters like riff or, chord progression, and then, then the rest happens. I mean, the rhythm section kicks in because those guys are awesome. And then Shaun with his blazing guitar and everything else that goes on. I mean, it's been really fun to add the layers, and now having keyboards, having Ryan play with us is incredible. Like he brings another layer of sound that I don't think we've ever quite had as a group, and even in other bands I've been in. Awesome. I love the concepts of the music that you have. So, like Cherry Blossom, you have that kind of almost electronic, the really cool keyboards going on there. But my favorite song is Coastlines.
Me too.
Yeah, nice.
Love it.
Is such a great song. And I got this kind of feeling, almost a flashback feeling of Big Brother and Holding Company of Summertime.
Hey,
Shaun likes that.
Shaun wrote that.
He's saying that, but like the solo that I do, I got that riff from Big Brother and the Holding Company.
Wow.
So, inside scoop.
Good call.
And so I was curious, what inspired that song besides the riff that Shaun's playing?
Well, I guess as far as like lyrics, Shaun had played that, and one day I was just like, oh, I like that. We should use that. And then, we just started playing whatever, and then I guess I just started writing and started thinking about, like stuff that was going on, and the words just started flowing. So I would definitely say blame it on Shaun. He started it.
Yeah. So that kind of gets into another thing I was really curious about is like, what is that writing dynamic like? Does it start with a musical theme and work itself into a lyrical theme, or do you do a combination where you have, like maybe Kristi has some really cool lyrics and you work some music around that, or is it how does that work for you guys?
It's a little bit of both. We usually it starts out with somebody has something, whether it's just like a riff or a melody, and then we just kind of build off that. I know like October 17th, that was a song that Tim and I wrote together, like without the band, and we brought it to the band. and they just added way more than what we had to begin with, and it made the song 1,000 times better. But a lot of the times, I think it usually just starts with one little melody, and we just build off of it. We just build off each other.
Awesome.
That's kind of how like Coastlines was. I did that riff, and Christiana said, "Don't forget it." So, and that's how it went from there. She said, "Don't forget it." So it worked out.
Yeah, and we usually go back and I mean, you know, somebody will add a bridge like in Coastlines, you know, like I if I recall correctly, Tim basically wrote that bridge that, you know, where it gets kind of heavy at the end, and it took me like a million years how to play it, and everybody was kicking me all the way through, but we got it, and yeah, that's a fun song to play. But like everybody always tends to add something somewhere, and it usually winds up feeling, you know, unique to us, I guess. I think that's where the sound comes from, because everybody in the band gets to kind of put their mark on it. There's, you know, nobody comes with a completely finished song, and I don't know, sometimes that might create a little frustration. But I think I don't know. I like the way it turns out at the end, you know, when you hear it back on the recording and you think, okay, everybody put their mark on it, and that's where the sound comes from.
Yeah.
The format of Can't Stand It was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh.
And we didn't, that was the last song we finished.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it just takes us a little bit to figure out what direction we want to go with it.
Yeah, that tune's got that great kind of psychedelic vibe I like toward the end. It's fantastic. I was like, wow, where did that come from?
Whose fault was that?
Like that was a little bit of everybody.
Yeah.
And Shaun always encourages me to get faster and louder. So, which is good, you know, because I mean that like takes me back too. I mean, I really dig the like the neo soul and funk and old school soul kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Being able to throw in some like jazz licks, but then if I do that too often, then I like definitely need to like get back into the 90s. That's kind of where I started playing drums, was back with you know, like Seattle grunge and old alternative art rock and progressive stuff. And yeah, so I'll throw my Matt Cameron in from Soundgarden on those kind of things. Or that would be more like the Coastlines. The song, I forget the names. Can't Stand It. Yeah, right.
Yeah, Can't Stand It.
Yeah. That's definitely more psychedelic. Definitely like 60s kind of 70s, you know, full on vibe.
Yeah.
Little
Very
Who.
cool. Very cool.
I was wondering, how do the songs change from the first time that you play them to where they are now?
We keep playing them.
I mean, we get better. We get better at playing them. I don't know. Like, I feel like they find their groove. Sometimes I feel like the tempo changes. Like we find a better pocket or a better groove to some degree. I mean, sometimes when I listen to older stuff, I like back, because we record pretty much every rehearsal. And
Cool.
So every now and then I'll hear when we first started to play something, and sometimes it's slower, sometimes it's faster. So like, there's definitely like, I feel like we settle into a thing that feels good versus just saying, oh, it should be, you know, X amount of beats per minute to give it this feel. Like, we're not technical about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just what feels good to us. So I definitely think that changes. And then I think some things like, I don't know, I mean, after we record something and it's kind of like, you know, you can't change that once it's done. I know I personally like, I do kind of try to stick to the song the way we recorded it, but like, I don't know, we also improvise too, and live, who knows what might happen.
Yeah. Even that starts to change too. I think I kind of do the same thing, you know, like once we record, when we go into the studio, we usually get it in like 3 takes, you know, and sometimes it's not, so it might be any one of those takes too. So we're kind of going in improvising, you know. And then like Rick was saying, you know, once we get that recorded, it's like I'll try to stick with some of the like the more signature fills and feels or whatnot, you know. But then we play the same song live like 100 times, and it changes. Just it has its own life.
Nice. So Antonio or Lori, do you guys got questions?
My question is, what happened to Black Sheep?
What happened?
That's one of you guys' signature songs, and it wasn't on the album. I was low-key heard about that. What happened to Black Sheep?
That's my jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my jam.
Maybe we can do a cover album.
We have
maybe
talked
on the
about
next
that.
album.
That's more of a legal thing, though, isn't it? You got to ask
Yeah.
permission to do like that anyway.
Right.
You'd have
Who
to
knows
pull the
metric?
rights for that, for sure.
And Tony, you just got to keep coming to our shows, and we'll play it for you every time.
Listen, man, I come to every show just to hear Black Sheep. The album came out, I'm like, I know Black Sheep on here, and it wasn't. I'm like,
I'm glad that people appreciate that, because I feel like the first time I told them that I wanted to play this, I feel like they were looking at me crazy. Because that song is not like anything that we really do. But I was like, no, this song is so good. And every time we play it, there's always one person, they're like, oh my God, I love this song. And they just go crazy. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you appreciate that song as much as I do, Antonio.
We like to rock when we can, for sure.
Cool.
I think we have a video on our
YouTube
channel that Antonio recorded of us playing that at the Blind Pig.
Singing at the
That's right.
I recorded just for that moment. I'm like, I need to get this on my camera.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to seek that
Perfect.
out. That sounds good.
I have a second question. What was the first song you guys recorded
Oh.
for the project?
Cherry Blossom?
Well, it was
Cherry Blossom. Yeah, Cherry Blossom, I think.
Yeah.
We did Cherry Blossom on October 17th, like the same day, I think.
It was at the same time, yeah.
Yeah, we were those songs were recorded in Tapwater Productions in Detroit in
Dylan Wade,
the old elevator building. What is that, in Bricktown?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it up to Dylan Wade.
Yeah, shout out to Dylan Wade.
He doesn't have a studio there, but
very nice.
Yeah, they priced him out of the lease. That typical in Detroit right now. In
really good engineer too.
Amazing, yeah.
Really
Dylan's
good
awesome.
Who's responsible for the mix on that album?
Jeff Michael.
Jeff.
Big guy.
Jeff Michael. So that's crazy. I recorded with that guy way back in the day.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a long time. He recorded the first record that we did together, the Jameson record that we did many years ago. So we've been working with Jeff for a long time. I've worked with him on a bunch of other projects outside this one, and he's awesome. And then the other songs we recorded with Taylor Greenshields at Fundamental Sound Company, and he's awesome too. Am I missing anybody?
Nope.
No, I think that's it.
For 5 songs, our list of people involved is like it's like this.
Sometimes that's what you got to do, man. You got to have the perfect people to make some perfect album.
For sure.
So
Lori.
I have a question actually about, so when you look at the sequence of the tracks on the project, did you guys want to have a certain flow in mind as you were recording the tracks to see like what you thought would be best to open with and what to close with, or was the order deliberate, or is that just kind of how it ended up?
We just roll the dice and I think there was some thought into it for sure.
Yeah, we always do that. Like every show, pretty much every show we have, our set list is different. I mean, we usually start off with the same, and we usually end with the same, like 2 or 3, but we always put thought into like, okay, what sounds good right after this? What sounds good right after this? What is the best song that we could close on? What's the best song we could open on? So we definitely always like consider that. and take into, I guess, consideration of the best flow. Yeah.
That's, setting up a set list is not my department. Eric can vouch for that. When me and Eric been playing together for a while, and the few times that I did a set list, the band is tired by like the fourth or fifth song. So I'm allowed to do that job anymore.
I feel like some people are just better at set listing. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's a special skill. I think.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you got to think about.
Yeah, you don't want to kill the band in the first 4 songs, but
or the audience.
Or the audience.
Right.
Come out screaming.
Right.
And then whisper the rest of the way. No, that doesn't work.
Right. This band is getting really boring now. I'm gonna go.
You got to have that beer break in there. So
yeah,
there's that too.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have a separate question for Ryan. You are, I believe, you're the newest member of the group. How's like your integration been with the band so far?
Well,
he just quit. Actually,
he's still hazing in the hazing process.
That is awkward.
He just quit.
No. Like I was saying just a little bit earlier. I've been a fan of the DayNites since the beginning, and I've been talking to Tim, and I actually mentioned this to Tim a few practices ago. Like this came into fruition. I've been watching you guys. I've been wanting to play with you guys, and it happened, and here I am. You know what I mean? But like the actual transition into playing, I was. We practice at Grove Studios. We have an extremely professional space to work in, which is awesome.
Grove is amazing.
This is a paid advertisement.
Yes.
Yeah. No, listen, and just I just feel like just the nature of practice and just the smoothness of how the band works together has just been really refreshing. Like we get there, we have 2 to 3 hours to work, and everybody gets there ready to work. Everybody gets there just ready to cultivate and create, and it just seems very organized, but at the same time, it's just fun. We're just hanging out. We're bouncing ideas off of each other. We are, like Rick had said, we're constantly recording our practices, so we get to listen back to those ideas and come back the next week and elaborate on them. So yeah, it's been an extremely smooth transition into an already polished and just well-oiled machine. Like they already. Everybody already has kind of their own pocket, and everybody already fills their own space, and they've been just extremely welcoming, and it's been a really fun experience to work with them.
Thanks for saying all those nice things about us, Ryan.
Very nice. Yeah, I think Ryan's got a really good insight into the band just because he is the newest. You're definitely our biggest cheerleader. I'd say that.
I am.
Yeah, Ryan, you've been there for the tough talks too lately. So
yeah.
By the way, his nickname is Electrifying Ryan.
Love it. Nice. So Danielle or Lori, do you guys have any other questions?
Oh, I did. I'm wondering who has the funnest role in the band? Which part is the most fun?
The most fun?
I think Shaun has the most fun.
Definitely.
I agree with Eric. I have a lot of fun at practice, one way or another. I'm always going to bring some food. I'm always going to bring some drinks. So we start that way.
And sometimes a shoulder massage. It's great.
Wow, full-featured
So-
guitar player.
He is.
Good to have a professional masseuse in your band, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Where do you work? Plug your.
I'm not plugging them. They're not
Shaun
getting any
gives
extra money out
massages
of
at
me.
Grove Studios.
Yeah, Shaun, we always joke that him and I together make the perfect guitar player. That's we're like the yin and the yang guitar player, and I think it's cool. Like just as a guitar player in the band, it's fun to be able to some guitar players that I know would never entertain playing in a band with another guitar player, and haven't been playing with Shaun for as long as I have. It's really cool because Shaun does stuff that I cannot do. I've tried, and I can't do what Shaun does. And so, some of the most blazing solos on the record are definitely signature Shaun blazing solos. And, I appreciate that. And, since Ryan's been in the band, he's bring a lot of like some of the new stuff that we're writing, is bringing a different tonality and sound. He's got a wide variety of synth sounds and things like that. I make synth sounds with my guitar, and people don't even know it's the guitar, which is fun for me because, I don't know. It's just an interesting thing. So like on Cherry Blossom, there's a synth sound happening, but it's not a synth. I mean, I guess it's a synth, but it's a guitar synth.
Oh, okay. So I thought that was like a keyboard. So that's you.
Yeah. Yep.
That's Rick. Yeah.
Very cool. Because that tune had I don't know if you guys remember the band My Dear Disco.
Yep.
That.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love them. I love
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That tune reminded me of My Dear Disco a bit.
That's
And-
cool. I appreciate
check
that.
them
I
out.
like that band a lot. When they were hot, they were hot. That was great band.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. I have a question. I have another
Go for it.
question. Rick, you just said you guys are writing more music. Can we expect another album
That's the plan.
soon?
And more than 5 songs.
Ah,
Oh, all right.
yeah.
We're going for 6 this
I-
time.
Right. Just
Bonus
one
track.
more. Each
and a
album,
half,
we're gonna
bonus
add an
track.
extra
Yeah.
song.
It'll be 30 seconds.
We're gonna work our way up to like a double live, for the 50th anniversary.
Cool. Any timeline for that thing?
I think we're shooting for spring, aren't we? I thought that's what we talked about.
We're
but-
definitely
Wow, spring.
we're definitely in the works and trying to keep our flow going. I think last time we kind of got distracted a little bit, but we got some ideas, and now we've done the first one, so it's going to be easier for us to do another one. So
Awesome.
we're definitely working on some. We have one song that's like almost done, and have more on the way. So let's not put a time limit on it because greatness cannot be
No
rushed.
pressure.
This is exclusive news.
No pressure.
Can you give us a preview as to kind of like what the new material will sound like? Is it kind of an extension
Yeah. Give us a
from
preview.
the EP, or do you think you're going in a slightly different direction, like genre-wise or like from a creative standpoint?
My opinion is I think we'll have the same feel, but just like a different sound. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Same feel, but different sound.
Yes.
I think. Sorry, go ahead, Shaun.
Oh, we have a new voice, and he's Ryan is directing us in a different way, making us reach out and do stuff that we weren't doing before. So, like certain things I have to learn. Before it was just 5 of us, so I kind of knew exactly what I can do and couldn't do, and it's like you never want to be fighting with the other musicians. You always want to find your place and make sure it's musical. So it's going to take a minute. I feel as though it's going to take a minute, but I think we're on a good path. I think we got a good groove. As Cristiano would say, we have a good vibe. So I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work,
Yeah, Ryan's definitely pushing it more in like electronic and even a little bit of a progressive mode, I'd say.
Nice.
Not like crazy progressive, not like we're gonna
Not like King Crimson,
King
Tim
no, King
Crummer
Crimson.
progressive. But
no. I mean more, just more. The arrangements are a little bit more thought out in the beginning.
Well, I've seen Ryan perform live, and it's pretty awesome. So I'm excited to hear like how he's going to bring that to
electrifying.
Electrifying Ryan.
I mean, it's already been said in this talk too. I mean, the DayNites have always been, it's said neo soul, soulful, and then I heard Rick and Erich both and Shaun, all three of them say that you guys, you take it heavier, you take it to like a rock feel. There's a lot of layers to what your songs already are and your live performances already are. So the DayNites moving forward is going to continue to be what it already is, which is it's just an eclectic, just a skew of different genres and just energy feel. It's just gonna continue to be what it is. But yeah, it's just I definitely think that the music is the music that the DayNites make definitely has a lot of layers to it.
I think we're always opening like new flavors. That's why like Ryan will bust out this like synth sound that literally transports me back to like the 80s or something, and I'll be like, oh, I forgot how cool that keyboard, that sound can be, and how can we use it? You know what I mean? Like when you have like a palette like that to work with, I think you can come up with some pretty incredible stuff that, like combinations of things that people haven't heard before that make it feel fresh. That's the kind of stuff I get excited about too, where it's like, yeah, we are pulling together all these more classic elements, but how do you do it in a fresh way?
Yeah, it seems really like there is elements of like the early 80s to 2000s that are being fused with just like the newer neo soul progressive genres. So it's just like I get that. Like I've heard that from a lot of my friends. They're like, oh man, this like sounds like some like hiatus coyote shit. Like this sounds like some new neo soul stuff. But also I'm hearing some just like 2000s like soul, like pop soul. Like I don't know. It bridges the gap between the generations for sure.
Very cool.
Yeah, Christiana has like surprised me big time and bringing some heavy stuff to the floor, like really into it, like really digging some of the heavy guitars. And like in the beginning, I would have never imagined that we were going to do anything like that. Of course, yeah, I mean the Black Sheep thing. I mean that was kind of an aberration.
Yeah. She's actually told me that my guitar is not heavy enough, and she wants me to break out the fuzz pedal. The fuzz pedal is going to blow out my amp, but I have a feeling I'm going to have to break it back out for this next effort, because it's fun, but I'm like, is that going to ruin my speaker? It's so over the top.
Keep
fuzz,
doing that, but do it more and do it louder.
Like, that's the sound.
Right.
So we all kind of like to rock, I think, like we're all rock music fans, so that's always going to bleed in there somehow.
Honestly, I think
dead.
if you heard us jam and then you hear the outcome of what we can do, like how we put it together, you'd be really shocked, because we can do it all. Like we've been in jams where like Ryan went into like a Zapp and Roger type thing. Just went into we went completely that way. And then we can go into something like really, like nice and soft. We can go into stuff jazzy. Like everybody's coming from different elements. It's a great gumbo, a musical gumbo. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
And we're constantly learning from each other too, because there's a lot of stuff that's introduced to me that's really new to my ears. And then I have to figure out how, where's my place with this kind of style? Because a lot of the newer music is not necessarily guitar like where the guitar is not in front. Like I grew up like listening to Hendrix and, Clapton and all that stuff. So like the guitar is more up front. How do you make the guitar compatible with this music without it dominating this smooth style or this kind of style or something like that? So I'm constantly learning.
Yeah.
And then
I was going to say that kind of style reminds me of like Steely Dan. They were masters of integrating really great guitar into like the music without it being the guitar up front.
We've got some Steely Dan fans in this band.
Yeah,
I must admit. It's the dad rock for the dads. The band.
Speaking of Steely Dan, my
Dan's here.
Good friend, Dan just joined us. Steely Dan himself.
Is that what you call him? Steely?
That's awesome. On cue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made it just in time.
Thanks for joining, Dan.
Yeah, happy to get the chance to swing up here. So I'll log in, I guess.
Yeah, cool, awesome. and so it sounds like you're a friend of Ryan's. How did you get into as a fan of the DayNites?
So I actually play in another band that Ryan's in, Violet Soul.
Oh, cool.
And we've played a number of gigs with the DayNites over the last couple of years here. Probably, 3-4 years now that we've been doing stuff together on and off. So, yeah, just always really enjoyed the musicianship, the music, whether it's original or cover choices, definitely like in service of the music has always been something I appreciated about the group.
Cool. Very nice.
And I will say, speaking of fans, I am definitely a big fan of Violet Soul. I think that you guys are awesome. I love Angelina's voice. The first time I heard her, I was like, hold up, that's not her. So I was really excited when Ryan, decided to come over because I like what you guys do as well. So it's been fun.
Very cool. So I've got a question, and it's kind of like it'll be around the horn because I am always curious about people's origins of music, and especially like what was the very first album that you bought with your own money? So let's start with Shaun.
With my own money?
Yeah. And that could be like birthday gift or something, somebody. First one that you wanted to purchase and you got.
The first one I purchased with my own money was Prince Controversy.
Nice.
Awesome.
That was the first one I ever did.
Very nice. Ryan, how about you?
Jay-Z's The Black Album.
Nice. Antonio.
My first album that I purchased was Fall Out Boy, Infinity on High.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I'm not surprised.
Come on, man.
Lori.
Michael Jackson's Thriller.
All right. Very nice. That's a good one. Danielle.
I went out and bought a Beatles album for my dad that was one of the earliest songs. My dad really liked the Beatles, and so I went out and picked one up for him.
Very cool.
Good choice.
Cool.
Yeah, you can't go wrong there. Tim.
It was so I actually bought the CD twice because I broke it and I really
Plastic.
But yeah, they were the Starting Line, which is like a power punk band from the 2000s.
Cool.
Kind of like Fall Out Boy a little bit.
Yeah.
Rick, how about you?
I was trying, man. You got me going like way back. Like how can I remember that possibly? You see, like the rack of
so
CDs
old.
that I have behind me. I am because I've got all the mediums. I've got tapes. I've got CDs.
Right.
And I've got vinyl. Yep. But I didn't start collecting vinyl until later. So like vinyl wasn't a thing for me but like tapes were hot in the 80s. That's when I was a kid, whatever. I think it was Run DMC, Raising Hell.
Awesome.
I'm, and then, yeah, there was probably Beastie Boys' License to Ill came pretty soon after that. I was really like into the hip hop thing at that point.
Cool. Kristi.
I want to say the first one that I probably bought for myself was probably Mariah Carey, Emancipation of Me and Me.
There you go.
Nice.
Side
Which
note,
I
that was
still listen to this day.
Very
that was my
nice.
father's favorite album.
It's a time.
Oh, I should, if we're mentioning anything like that, like there was probably some Huey Lewis and the News in the mix there too.
Oh yeah.
Like right along with the hip hop.
Yep.
It
is. Erich, how about you?
Oh man. So 1987. I had never bought anything before, music-wise, and I remember seeing Joshua Tree video. I don't even remember which song, but it was on MTV back when they played music videos.
Yeah.
And it just stuck with me. And then I went on vacation with my family to Toronto and walked into a record shop there and wanted to buy Joshua Tree, but ended up walking out with a tape of it was like the In God's Country single or something.
Mhm.
Oh,
And I was like, I got in the car and it only had 2 songs. I don't know what I was thinking. But
Was it
but
like
yeah,
a
that was
single?
it. Was rock a single. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I
it had a
hated
B-
those things,
I
man.
forget what the B-side was, but
Those things
yeah.
were
Yeah. I listened to that
pointless.
thing. I think I broke the tape.
And
And then
Dan.
got the full version.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Sorry.
That's good. Dan, how about you?
It's hard to remember back then. I had a lot bought for me as a kid, like some Stephen Curtis Chapman. But probably the first album that I bought for myself was System of a Down's Toxicity.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
That's probably the first one that I spent my own money on.
Fantastic. That's a great choice.
Yeah, an angry 12-year-old.
Makes sense, yeah.
I mean, yeah, Hot Topic did an ID at the time, so I was ready.
Right. So Dan, I realized I didn't give you a chance to ask a question of the DayNites. Do you have one?
Probably not right off this. Like with some context, yeah. I mean, I've talked to all of them a bit. I'm sure you guys have already covered some of the stuff with like the new album, just how that experience was. But that was more what my questions would be. Besides, like, I know you guys have been doing some work on new music, integrating Ryan, all of that. So,
Do you have
slightly
any
curious about
what's your question? We didn't ask that much.
I know.
That's any question. You're good.
I can't not keep talking.
What's your favorite breakfast cereal?
Yeah. I guess the only thing is like, what are you guys working on next? What do you think your next steps are?
I mean, we're writing more music right now, for sure. And Tim and I are getting all excited about cell phone video techniques, right, Tim?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get crazy with it, I think.
We were up pretty late one night, just like on Instagram, like shooting stuff back and forth, and there's some profiles that I was following, that some of the stuff that people are doing with using cell phones for video is mind blowing. So there's video in the works.
Cool. So
what are we gonna do?
Invest in that equipment.
What's that?
No, I said it pays to invest in good equipment like cell phones.
Right? Yeah.
It's crazy, like the technology nowadays. like the cameras on cell phones are like on par with regular video cameras, and sometimes like even better. So, but it's just like the form factor of a phone. Like,
Yeah.
You always got a creative tool in your pocket. So,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We have to put it out there that Tim can do it all. Tim plays drums as well. He can do video work. He can do it all. So whatever we need, Tim is the person we kind of go to him first and ask him questions, and he kind of guides us. We have an idea and he tells us what we need to do just on that format, just like on video format and stuff like that. And like I said, he plays drums sometimes. So like when we get a chance to jam, Tim does it up. He'll jump off bass and jump on the drums.
He plays keys too.
So
stay tuned for the new DayNites album featuring Tim Blackman only.
Gonna start singing too.
We got a whole album with just him coming soon.
Yeah. There may be some instrument switching going on. Erich we were playing something the other day. Erich was playing the keyboards.
Yeah, I play the
Tim
mean
was
one
playing
finger
drums.
keyboard.
And what we came up with was actually pretty cool.
It was pretty fun. Good stuff.
So talking about the video technology, have you guys done a live stream, the whole band together, like playing?
We did before the pandemic hit. Right just before that happened, and then
we did Tiny Desk once.
Right, with Alex.
We did that for a competition or something like that. We did Tiny Desk. We did. We don't know what happened to it, but we did a concert for a video, and we haven't seen it yet. But we did one.
Oh, with Decipher.
Yeah, so we just haven't seen the video.
It wasn't a live stream though.
It wasn't
a live stream.
Yeah.
But we've been
month,
talking about doing the live stream thing. I mean, it's interesting because Bandcamp just announced their ticketing platform today. The paywall. Yep. Everybody's getting into that game. I mean, I was looking at like Veeps.com and trying to see if there's a way to do that online. But yeah, the Bandcamp thing was announced today. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to at some point.
Yeah,
the best
things are not happening.
Yeah. I think the best thing to say with this band is expect the unexpected.
Awesome. Well, guys, we only have time for like a one more question, and it doesn't have to be short. It can be as long as you want. But I'm curious if you could go anywhere in the world right now, and it was safe to travel, and you were wanting to go somewhere. Where would that be?
We've been wanting to go to Brazil so we can play a gig with Alex Binho Menenti. he was our original keyboardist when he was here. That was last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very
October. Nice. We saw him last October. That was the last time we saw him. I think was October last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. His wife was on I think a residency or something at U of M, and so they moved here for that and had to move back. But while he was here, he played in like 3 or 4 different bands.
Yeah, he's amazing
too. He left his mark for sure, and he's such a great guy. So. I was thinking Brazil too would be really cool to do some kind of a tour.
Ipsy to Brazil.
Why not?
And
I'd like to
Lou in the gallery that Antonio plays with. We were going to do that. That was on the docket.
Yes.
We're supposed to tour with Louis Picasso in the gallery at some point.
Coming.
All right. Cool.
When there's such thing as touring again.
So how about the fans? Where would you guys travel if you could right now? And start with Antonio.
Actually Brazil.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go there.
Nice.
So if I could go to Brazil and see the DayNites, that'd be like a gift on top of a gift. That'd be perfect right there.
Yeah.
The Ipsy Brazil tour. I see it happening.
Listen, I promise you. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Awesome. Dan, how about you?
Probably Ireland. I'd probably go back to Ireland. That was just a really cool space, and it's an island. They're able to keep a little bit more of the corona control.
There we go.
Corona
Lori.
control.
Corona control for sure.
I'd say Tokyo. I've always wanted to go there. They have a great music scene. I've always wanted. I know there's some other Detroit artists that have toured over there in the past when it wasn't COVID. So
Yeah.
The DayNites should definitely go to Tokyo.
I'm into it. I'm with it.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Also, I would say I would really want to go to London for sure.
Oh, definitely.
They're the musicians over there are incredible.
Yeah.
And there's a real appreciation for like live music and artistry there. So
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
They have a different appreciation for music over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have any London fans discovered the DayNites yet?
I don't know.
We're working on it.
Yeah, we'll get it up.
We got a fan in Poland though.
That's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Reached out to me this morning and was asking, like when he buys a CD, if we could sign it. So yeah,
nice.
That's awesome.
I was gonna ask you guys, but I figured now we could do it here.
Fantastic.
I've been looking at our what are they called? Streaming statistics, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of plays from random places that I just look at sometimes. I'm like, oh, who's that? Who's listening there? So that's kind of cool. And it's like, I mean, our music is out there. You never know who's going to hear it, who's listening, or where. So I think that's really cool. So you never know. We could be playing in Australia right now.
That's right.
That's where I was going to say. I'm trying to go.
Oh, yeah. Australia.
It's like
I'll go
over there right now.
I'll go anywhere that I can pronounce the country. I'll go.
There you go.
If I can't pronounce it, we can't go.
I'll go anywhere.
We'll get you a
beach.
translator.
Yeah.
I think you could pronounce all of them, so that means we'll go anywhere.
There you go.
I hope I can pronounce them.
Danielle, how about you?
I would actually pick everybody up. I'd get Dan from Ireland, and we could all fly over to Brazil with Antonio, and we can go to a DayNites performance.
Fantastic.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Both pianists.
Yeah, I think that should be the goal for you guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to play with Bino. Let's go to Brazil. I changed my Australia. I want to duel with Bino.
Yeah.
The
Dueling
piano.
keyboards would be epic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That would be awesome. That's a goal, I think, as soon as this pandemic is over, that you guys, get the next album out there and get this tour set up so we can go enjoy. But, start here so that we can enjoy it first and then head down.
Correct. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, I thank you so much for being on Fans with Bands. It's been great talking with you. As I expected, you're all fucking awesome people, and the music's fucking awesome. I can't wait to hear the new stuff. I'm super excited just hearing about it. So do a live stream with some of that new stuff so we can just have a little taste of it.
I
will
am
for
still
sure.
very much infatuated with this current stuff right now.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank
Thanks
you
for having us, Charlie.
Thank you, everybody, for being part of
All
this.
right. Take care.
Thank you.
All right.
You too.
Have a good one.
Yep.
Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Thanks to Kristi, Shaun, Tim, Rick, Erich, and Ryan of the DayNites, and fans Lori, Antonio, Dan, and Danielle for joining me on this episode of Fans with Bands. Go get a copy of the DayNites self-titled EP. They do an amazing job of mixing soul and rock, featuring stunning vocals, grooving riffs, and top-notch rhythms. They have it all going on, and I'm sure you will feel this music in your soul. See the show notes for all the details and links. These are tough times for everyone in the creative industries such as music. Your support of live streaming, purchasing music, and merchandise is critical. If you can support your local artists, please do. If you are in the Michigan area, consider following Playing in the Detroit Area Tonight Facebook page. It is a place for fans and bands to support each other and share our combined love of music. Thank you all for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast service to get each and every episode of Bands with Bands. Spread the word by rating the show and leaving a comment. We want to hear what you think. You can keep in touch by following us on social media. This is a Life in Michigan production. Until next time, be well and kick out the jams.